Hi and welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you something a little bit different that you can do with Gyotaku, traditionally used to print fish. I've been playing around with a few different ideas, and the other day I had some biscuits in my studio that I could have eaten, but I decided not to. So we're going to go ahead and ink these up, get them laid out, and show you how I've printed them and then what I've done with them in Procreate. So you can see here I'm just inking up the biscuits with a bit of black ink. It takes a bit of time. I'm using a sponge. I guess you could use a brush. It depends on what I'm printing, how I ink it. Sometimes I do use brushes, sometimes sponges, sometimes cloth. Depends on the object, but there's quite a lot of detail in a biscuit, so you need to get the ink quite deep down in it. So these are English biscuits because I'm English, fairly traditional: bourbon biscuit, a jammy dodger, and a custard cream. And of all of them, the custard cream is the hardest of the lot to print, as you'll see. So for this one, I'm using some silk. Could use paper. You've got to be careful when you're using fabric because the ink comes through quite easily, and as you're touching it with your fingers, the ink will transfer through the fabric onto your fingers, so you do have to be quite careful, otherwise you'll end up putting ink on the reverse of your print, which is no good, and make it look really muddy and undefined. So very gently you can see I'm just tapping in, trying to get the details onto the fabric. And when I'm happy with that, I'll pull the fabric back. See how I'm working around the custard cream, because it's a bit tricky to kind of get any impression of. It's important you clean your hands after this process, or as soon as you pick up the cloth, that ink that's transferred across your fingers will get all over the place. So we pull that back now. Biscuits are sticking a little. And that's that done. So here's the finished silk. So I photographed that and took it into Procreate, flipped them over, coloured them in. I decided I didn't really like it using the Procreate brushes to colour them in, so I then did some watercolours onto paper, which again I photographed, imported into Procreate, and used their clipping mask to finish off the design. And this is me just going through that process on their video playback. I think they look more biscuity with the watercolour background than they did with the Procreate colours. So I'll probably do something with these now, like make a postcard out of them or something. We'll just wait and see. Thanks for watching.